This is The Swizz on DPW Productions' second podcast, and today we have
Dennis
Hagen.
Yeah.
And we've known each other since, I want to say, like 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 2011.
Yeah. Or something. Well, was it? Was it a year before my oldest was born?
When was your oldest born?
7 years ago.
Should
2012.
have been, but yeah. Oh yeah, because we had kids the same year.
Yeah. Because Eli was born in December.
So yeah, 2011 would make sense because I started at the hospital in 2011, and then I think we both had full time by time we had kids.
Yep.
So it took me a year to get that full time position.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2011.
Yeah. So about 11 years, 10, 11 years. Yeah. Damn, time flies.
Yes, it does. Well, dude, it's crazy to think I've worked at the hospital for about 10 years.
I know. Hell. Might transfer over.
What are you... We haven't really seen each other much here lately because we both had busy lives. We've been doing our own things.
Yep.
You got your own thing that you're doing now, so why don't you tell me a little bit about what it is that you're doing?
I'm actually running a paranormal team here in Toledo, locally.
Okay.
I've been going at it for 3 years now. I've investigated numerous of places. But other than that, and raising the boys and working.
And what's the name of your paranormal group?
Toledo Spirit Hunters.
All right. And what is the goal of Toledo Spirit Hunters?
Well, our goal basically is to help families, help businesses, make them feel at ease, investigate the location, get them answers, see what's going on.
So do you just hunt like ghosts, or do you even do like things that could be demonic? Do you just...
I haven't come across anything negative, but if that ever happened, we would cross that bridge and deal with it then. I have a team member who can cleanse houses, and I do have a Catholic priest that I can reach out to help me bless homes if that needs to be.
And then that's your family member, right? Or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I'm thinking of somebody else.
No, my team member is actually another member who knows how to...
I meant the priest.
Oh, the priest? No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, this is a Catholic. He's Lutheran.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely. That's different.
Different, because Catholics deal with those type of things, and they know how to,
right,
bless homes and stuff.
Holy water.
Yes.
I have
a spray bottle of holy water.
Do you? Yeah. I actually, one time, because I was having issues with a ghost, well, I'm assuming it was a ghost. I'm not really sure. But it sounded like a little girl, so it might not have been a ghost. But like my doors and stuff would shake, and I would feel them like touch me and stuff, and it was really scary. I would hear the voices. I would hear her say like, "Are you?" The one time I stubbed my toe, and she was like, "Are you okay?" And it like scared the shit out of me because it was like 4 o'clock in the morning and pitch black, which is why I stubbed my toe. And like I heard that, and it scared me. But it got to the point where the doors would shake so hard that I was like, I have to do something about this. And I ended up getting like holy water, and I put like the cross on the inside and the outside, so that way it wouldn't try to hold me inside the room. And I even had this, like, it was dirt from the Jordan River.
Damn.
And you were supposed to like put it on your windowsill and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, ever since I used those things, I've never had a problem ever again.
Yeah.
Which I used to see ghosts all the time until I used that. It's almost like it disappeared.
Yeah. Holy water is like, what can I say? Holy water is like it's like medicine. It kind of affects them. Mm-hmm. But what really gets them is black salt. That's like a antibiotic. It like contains them in where they are. So basically, if I would put black salt right here in front of your door, I walk out and there's a spirit following, it'd be like that. It would just stop instantly. You're black right there at your doorway. It wouldn't be able to step across.
And you've never had to use black salt before?
I had to use black salt once on a haunted object that I owned And I come to find out I had a negative energy, and when it did, the medium that I was friends with told me to put black salt around it. It was contained in a glass case, and it was contained in there. But right now, that object's actually buried in my in-laws.
So you still have it?
I still technically have it. It's just buried with holy water in it and black salt in it to contain it, but it's buried like 3 feet in the ground.
And did it seem like it worked?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They haven't had paranormal activity.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And what was that? I'm pretty sure I know what the object was, but for those who are listening, what was that object?
It was actually a dowel. It was a dowel that I bought off eBay. I don't know if you remember me telling you this, but when I investigated the second time, it slammed the back door of our old residence over on Ogden. And it was me and my mom that was home, and she had shoulder surgery. Well, I was downstairs investigating it live on Facebook. And I said, can you light up this device to let me know you're here? And next thing you hear is bang! I was like, dang. And me and my mom walking around the house trying to figure out what the hell it was, and come to find out, I took the back door and slammed it to see if it was that noise, and it turned out to be that noise. It
sounded the same.
Yep. And actually, as I go over that video to this day, I actually listened to the audio of it because I had my spirit box going, which is basically a device that scans through frequencies, and they can speak through multiple sweeps. Well, it told me the door. It said, "Watch the door."
Wow.
And it, boom.
Now, when the medium came in and told you it was a negative energy, I know like a lot of times we see in movies that the negative energies have names or anything. Did it say if it had a name or no? Okay.
Nope. I just buried it. I didn't buy it. I haven't owned a haunted object for a while after that. And now I own over 90 haunted artifacts, from wheelchairs to doctor's bags to dowels to God knows what else.
And would you say that what you own the most of is dolls, or
combination?
It's a combination.
Yeah.
I know you had a lot of dolls.
Yeah, I got 3 haunted items sent 2 weeks ago. I had an apron, and I had glasses, and I had a teddy bear that was sent. And I have a holy urn that's a water urn, or a holy water container. That's going to be sent to me. It was using a cult, so that's being sent to me.
That's crazy. I'd almost be scared to touch that one just because of the cult thing.
Yeah. So a lot of haunted objects. Me and my wife were actually. Our goal is to actually open a haunted museum here locally in Toledo. Okay. I think it would bring a lot of people here, a lot of business, it would boom in downtown, So.
Yeah, and I've known, just because I've known you personally, that I know that's been your goal, and I didn't know if it was still your goal. So yeah, I'm glad that.
Baby steps.
Yeah. Yeah. How long do you think it would? Like, just out of curiosity, how long do you think it's going to take for you to get that up and going?
Well, it's going to take a little while. Honestly, I think it'd be cool if I could find an investor who would invest in it with me. If I could find an investor, then, me and that person can, contact City of Toledo, say, hey, do you have a business that, no building that your guys are not using that could be put to use? What I'm looking for basically is like an old building downtown, one that's good, it's got some good history, maybe some paranormal activity in it already, so I can add, those objects would add more energy to that building, and it would cost more energy to cause paranormal activity.
Right.
So, it's probably going to take a little while because, with the City of Toledo, even though they'll say, hey, they like, oh yeah, we got this building, you can have it for $1, but it's the taxes that you gotta pay in the end.
Right.
The back taxes. So those can be fucking. Sorry.
You're fine.
Okay. Don't worry about it. Those can be, really expensive. Even though they sold the building for $1, they'd be like, you gotta pay this damn,
Yeah, there's always a catch when it comes to buildings and real estate and things like that.
Yeah.
Super dirt cheap. There's a reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know obviously since you don't have an investor, it's almost impossible to come up with a timeline.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you.
Yeah. If I could get, get an investor who wants to invest and be like, yeah, I'm going to invest in your museum. Let's, look for a place, blah, blah, blah.
So since you brought up an investor, and I think this is a perfect opportunity for someone who's listening and maybe they got the money and they're interested in maybe investing. How much are you looking for an investor to invest?
It would be hard to say because it would be based on, what kind of building, Toledo would offer us, remodeling, wise, how many stories it is, how big is it, that's basically, it would have to go based off that. I would say at least nowadays probably 20, 30,000 at least.
Right. I know that you are talking about buying a building, but have you ever thought about maybe like renting?
I thought about renting too.
And is that still
if they allow, if they allow remodeling, I would love to rent a building too.
Have you looked at any buildings to try to get like an estimate of what you would need, or?
Not really. I'm guessing, they probably would want, at least couple thousand down, deposit, first month rent, it's probably like renting an apartment.
Right. Right. Which I am currently doing, so I know all about that.
I currently did that in my past life.
So if there's any investors out there, he's basically telling you his rough estimate. So if anybody is interested, how would they contact you?
They can contact me through, Facebook, email, at Toledo Spirit Hunters at yahoo.com.
Okay. And then for your Facebook, do you have a Toledo Spirit Hunters Facebook page?
Yes.
Okay. And are there more than one, or are you guys
just
only?
One?
Okay.
Just one. I mean, I got a public page too because I separate my personal life from my hobby. So, Maggie does too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's not always a bad thing. So,
no. Yeah. you gotta keep things, balanced.
Yeah. When I was what do you call it? When I was nominated for the Libertarian Party candidate in Toledo,
I remember that.
They actually told me, they're like, you're going to want a personal for you and your family, and then they're like, you're going to want to keep another Facebook that's just business and nothing else. And they're like, when you have your personal one, make sure nobody else can see it, because it's going to invite other people to personally attack you. So.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. And I know that you had a little bit of that too, so.
Oh yeah, been down that road.
Yeah. Do you have any new places that you're going to be investigating here soon?
We're going to be going to Michigan on Saturday. I'm actually working on 2 projects. One is my YouTube series, which I'm actually going to pull over to Amazon Prime once they post it, or we get accepted. And I'm also working on a documentary, also that has to do with interviews, history, and paranormal investigating, and that's going to be going on Amazon Prime too as soon as it gets all filmed and done. We hopefully expect to be done with that within the year.
Okay.
Because what we're working on is the Prohibition and the Purple Gang, and we're searching out locations that they used to hang out with and gambled, and some locations have where they shot people. So we're basically seeing if they have if any of the members are still attached to that property, or they're victims, and see if they'll talk.
Are there any places that you're going that's like really well known, or are you just anywhere?
There are places that I am going, but I'm just keeping that down. So.
And I understand you don't want to reveal anything on the podcast because the big reveal should be for your show.
Yeah.
So that's completely understandable.
Yeah.
What's the most famous place that you have announced that you've investigated?
The most famous place that I've been to is Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky. Been there twice.
Mm-hmm.
Maggie actually went there with me last year. Really, she enjoyed it. Been there, been to OSR.
Mm-hmm. And they lock you inside there, right? Or not really lock you in there, but they let you in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and so did you have any
experiences? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot?
Not really a lot. I think I had more experiences when I first went than I did when I went the second time. But the second time I had another investigator that I'm friends with, and I had a medium with me that I'm friends with, and Maggie. So we all had a blast.
And like, what were some of the experiences that you had?
We heard a female scream down the hall on the first floor. My other friends, a medium, got to communicate with one of the spirits there. That's about caught some really good, still photos, but nothing really big. First time I actually had an experience for the first time, I heard a disembodied voice of a female asking for help, but nobody was with me at that time but me.
Wow.
That I will never forget. And that was on the 5th floor.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See, I don't know if I could do this because, like I said, I heard that one little girl's voice and it scared the crap out of me. I actually took off running because I was like, there's someone here with me, even though I couldn't see anyone. And I think that's probably the scariest part, is not being able to see the person that's there.
See what you hear. Yeah.
Yeah.
It can really, yeah. Dude, I took off running out the room and down the hall. I was like, I'm out of here.
That was funny.
Yeah. I was like, dang. I had 2 other girls with me too, and they were investigating. I was like, did you guys hear that? The one girl felt her breath on her neck.
See, I would have ran too, but I would have been running almost like how a penguin waddles, because I would have shit my pants. So
I thought I did. I heard it, seriously. I was like, oh.
Everyone's like, what's that smell? And it's like, I thought it was me, but it must be sulfur, so there must be that demon.
There you go.
Demon smell.
Exactly.
If you could pick any place, like you had access to any haunted place in the world, what would you be your number one pick?
I would have to say Waverly Hills.
Again?
Yeah. Reason being is that place is no joke. It is 100% haunted.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot of history. A lot of people died there. Tuberculosis. People were experimented on. There's a lot of history. A lot of experiences. People can tell you stories left and right of that place. A lot of innocent people died there.
Right. And that seems to be like a common factor.
Yeah.
In a lot of haunted places, there was innocent death or disease or something.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of history. A lot of spirits there. I mean, you could walk around that place with a recorder. You don't need nothing else, and you can capture a freaking EVP, which is an electrical voice phenomena, constantly. You don't hear it, but once you go home, you go over the evidence, you hear it.
Right. What all, when you do investigations, what's all the equipment that you take with you?
I usually use an SLS camera, which is a structural light sensor camera. Basically, the camera is based off the Xbox 360 Connect.
Okay.
Maps a person out, so if something manifests, it'll map them out. I take that. I take my recorders, my spirit boxes. I actually got an Xbox 360 camera, so I take that with me, hook it up to the laptop. I have software on my laptop now that I use called the Phasma Box.
Mm-hmm.
It's a clear noise. Excuse me.
Yeah.
That they speak through. It's clear though. You don't hear static, but it's clear. I take that. A bunch of other gadgets.
what would be your favorite piece of equipment?
I would have to say the SLS camera.
Right?
That's the last camera.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
How did you come across that camera? Like, were you just looking random things, or?
Bill Chample actually invented it.
Okay.
He works with Zach Beggins and Ghost Adventures, but he was toying around with the Xbox 360. And at that time, when he was toying around with it, he hooked up to a laptop, went on a couple investigations, and wanted to see how it worked. He tweaked it a little bit. He's an engineer, tweaked it. Well, I come to meet him when did I meet him? 2016, maybe. I met him at the old mill.
You actually met him?
Yeah, he signed my SLS camera before it was sent.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I met him, talked to him for about 45 minutes. We talked about the whole SLS camera and everything, and I said, it's funny because ever since you came out with SLS, now Microsoft don't have the Kinect camera no more. He's like, yeah, when I went and invented the SLS camera and I fooled around with it and I released it, he's like, Microsoft called me. He's like, yeah, they gave me a 3-hour lecture. And at the end I said, and why'd you call me for? And hung up. They called him because they were jealous and mad that he enhanced their device to use for the paranormal field.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. 3 hours lecturing them.
Did he say if they tried to threaten him or anything? Or?
No, just lectured them.
Yeah.
Basically
like a how dare you.
Yeah. Yeah, how dare you take our product and enhance it.
You made it better than we made it.
Exactly. You made Bill Gates look stupid.
It's like it's more Xbox than the Xbox. More human than the human.
Exactly.
More paranormal than ever before.
Exactly.
Almost sounds like a commercial.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how SLS was invented.
And now I completely understand why it's your favorite. Have you met any other famous people in the paranormal field?
I've met Katrina Whiteman.
Okay.
What else have I met? Christopher Booth. I don't know if you ever heard of him. I've met him and his wife, Rachel. That's about it, honestly.
And where, what groups are they with? Or are they just what are
Katrina's
they
on
known
Portals
for?
of Hell on Travel Channel with Jack Osborne.
Okay.
But she was with Nick Roth on Paranormal Lockdown.
Okay.
Let's see what else. And Chris and Rachel Booth, they're doing their own thing. They do their own thing. The Booth brothers are actually film producers and stuff. So they actually did a documentary on The Exorcist and all that. So.
Because I know I know a little bit about paranormal.
Yeah.
But I'm not engulfed in it like you are.
Yeah.
And if there's anybody on there who may not know who they are either, and maybe there's people who are interested in getting in the paranormal field, and they hear these names you just listed off, but they're like, where are they from? They can now look it up as well.
Yeah.
What's your biggest influence? What made you want to be a paranormal investigator?
Well, I think what got me into it was basically partially the shows and partially my interest to find out if it was real or just a show. And the first time I ever investigated was at the Toledo Yacht Club.
Okay.
And what I experienced there, I was like, oh, this shit's real. No joke. But then when you capture the evidence, it's like you're excited. You're on cloud nine.
Yeah.
So you're like, let's go do it again because you want to hear more. And ever since then, that's how it took off.
When you were in the yacht club, did you go up in the upstairs attic thing?
Yeah.
I've been up there before.
Yes. There's supposedly a little boy that hides up there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did we experience him? No, because at the time I joined in our team, and then I broke off and started my own team.
Mm-hmm. What all? You said that you got some experiences from the yacht club. What all did you encounter?
We were in, I think it's either the men's or the women's bathroom, and one of them were known to be haunted, and we were all in there investigating. And I walked and accidentally tripped over the stall, or the step to the stall. And one of the people there, because this is like a public hunt, because, you know, I'm not going to pay for, you know, go private and just be a letdown. So she had a FM or a AM radio going, and you could hear a male distinctly come across and go, this was not at that moment I didn't hear it, but when I went over the evidence, you can hear it go, look out, watch out, or something.
Something that...
Yeah, it basically called me out of my clumsiness.
Now...
It was really kind of funny because Maggie laughed about it.
Was it almost like a warning, or was it after you tripped?
After I tripped.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny,
yeah.
too.
Yeah. It was after I tripped. Yeah.
Watch out, you're already falling.
Yeah, I think it was like, look out, watch out, look out, some crap like that. I don't remember, but it was a male.
Right.
Came across.
Do you have any other experiences there?
Not really. I'm trying to think if I had any other ones. Well, up in the attic, we were investigating. We had spirit box going, and then I think we had someone come across and laugh. But that's about it. Nothing really spectacular or anything to blow, you know.
Just to watch out before you fell.
Yes. Yes.
Or after you fell, I guess.
Yeah.
Have there been any places that you've gone to where you got no evidence?
Oh man.
And we're not saying that it's not haunted, but maybe you just didn't get anything.
See, that's the thing is people, you know, people betray when you say where you got no evidence.
Yeah, see, that's why I said that. I don't want people to think that we're saying it's not haunted. Just maybe you didn't get any.
People have to realize is that when you go to a location, it's based off your energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like say you go to the yacht club, you can have a whole different experience than what I did.
Right.
You know, it's the same way with haunted objects. You know, someone's sitting there saying, oh man, I'm getting scratches, having nightmares, blah, blah, blah. You get the freaking item and, you know, you don't know. You're getting no scratches, no nightmares. You're getting knocks on your door and scratches on the wall.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, people have to realize because you go to a well-known, like, I'll give you an example. You know, actually, I'll answer the question. I went to OSR.
Okay.
When I went to OSR, you know, people are like, man, most haunted place in Ohio, blah, 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 blah. I didn't capture nothing. No physical evidence, nothing. And I was just like, you know what? I feel that I could capture more at Waverly Hills than I could capture here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying that OSR is a letdown.
Right.
It just probably wasn't my time to capture evidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant when I asked that question. I didn't want us to be sitting here like they're liars. You know, I didn't want that to be said.
Location is, when you go to investigate, location is broke down into two categories of evidence: audio, physical.
Mm-hmm.
I call a lot of audio. Hell with the physical, because I ain't getting none. That's the truth.
No physical.
No physical. No scratches, no touching, no nothing.
Has there been a place where you had physical encounters?
I actually did a residential home here, and I got touched on my shoulder.
Wow.
And when you get touched, it feels like it feels weird. Mm-hmm. It feels like an electrical shock.
Really?
Yeah. And what was funny was we were all downstairs in the basement, and we were all in a circle, and we were all talking, and then something touched me on my left shoulder, and I was like, what the fuck was that? And I was like, any of you guys touched me? They're like, no, we're in front of you. I was like, I just got touched. Like, it feels really weird.
And it felt like electricity?
Yeah.
So...
It's weird. It's just like a simple...
Do you know why it feels like that, or is there an explanation?
Because it's an energy.
Mm-hmm.
And with an energy, you know, you're going to get touched, and it's going to either feel like electrical shock or it's going to feel real cold.
Right.
You know?
And isn't there, because I'm no expert, so I might be wrong on this, but isn't there devices that actually measure the electrical?
I have an EDI that measures vibration, temperature, pressure, EMF.
Mm-hmm.
I have other couple. Yeah, basically, there are devices out there that measure EMF, but your body also measures EMF.
Right.
You know, because if there's a spirit near you or in that room, it's going to get cold, and you're going to get goosebumps like a mug.
Right.
You know, been there, done that.
You've had experiences where
Oh
it's
yeah,
cold?
haunted artifacts. When they're active, sometimes I can feel them near me. You know.
And that's another thing is when I heard that voice and it said, "Watch out when I stub my toe."
Yeah.
It was super cold.
Yeah.
That was the other thing is like it's really.
It gets
scary.
super cold and you're just like, who turned on the air conditioning?
Yeah, it was weird because it was almost like unbelievably cold. I don't want to say it was like the middle of winter cold, but it felt colder than, say, like 69 degrees.
Yeah, it is. It's super cold.
Yeah. Let's see. I just had a question on the tip of my tongue, and for some reason I blinked.
I know, don't you hate that? I usually get senior moments too. I'll tell you a senior moment I had. The other day I was working, and I had to go get a patient's blood pressure. I decided to take the rolling chair instead of the vitals machine down the hallway. And I'm like, what? I stopped myself. I'm like, what in the hell am I doing? Seriously, I'm like, what in the hell am I doing? And the nurse is just laughing at me like, are you all right? Because, I boss, how I'm coming, gray hair and shit. So I told Maggie, I said, I'm going to get some just for men. Seen the shampoo? Mm-hmm. Okay. And Maggie's like, man, you don't need that. You don't need that. And I'm like, Maggie, I'm turning 40, okay? Listen. I'm not ready for gray hair yet, damn it. And, well, at that time, when I was rolling the chair down, I realized what I did. I rolled it back, and the nurse laughed, and she's like, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I just had a senior moment. She's like, yeah, that just for men is not working for you. I would take it back and get your money back, buddy. I'm like, damn.
It's funny because I don't know if it's really just you getting older because I've had similar things. It's probably just the environment of being in a hospital because you know how, since you worked with me, you know how above the elevator button, there's the button for the door to open the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I'll walk up and I'll push the elevator door or the elevator button, and I'll sit there and wait for the kitchen door to open. And I'm like, what am I doing? And then there's also been times where I went to push the elevator button and I pushed the button for the door, and I saw the door open and nobody's there, and I just stood there waiting for an elevator, and I'm like, wait, I didn't push the right button. There's also been times where our Hickman Center, as you know, is around the corner from the elevators and down the hall.
Yeah.
And there have been times I got on the elevator with the Hickman trays, and I actually went up the elevator, and I was like, what am I doing? I'm not supposed to be on the elevator right now. So I've had similar things, and I don't really have gray hair. I got this one.
No,
it's just one. It's really weird, and it doesn't even look gray.
Oh, man, dude.
It looks almost like fishing line.
You know what I would love to investigate? Lake Park.
Lake Park? Yeah.
I've actually reached out to Pro Medical multiple times.
And didn't get anything right?
Nope.
Yeah.
They still turned me down.
Yeah.
Like, I want to investigate before they tear it down, because I've had people come back to me and report paranormal activity and have seen apparitions and hear stuff. So I know that place is haunted. Mm-hmm. It was actually built in 1950. It was a long-term facility. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
many people died.
Right. So
there's souls trapped there.
Yeah, and we both used to work there a lot.
Oh yeah.
It was definitely an old building. And I actually think that's part of the reason why they haven't tore it down yet, is because it's so old and they're worried about things getting in the air.
Yeah. But the funny part is, I've actually told them, I was like, I'll sign a waiver and everything. I'm not going to hold you guys responsible for anything that happens to me. I'll wear a mask.
Yeah.
I have an N99 filtered mask. I'll wear one. I just want my shot in that damn building, because I I know there's paranormal activity.
When we worked there, did you experience anything at all, or?
No, but people told me stories.
Right.
That's when my interest, at that time, that's when the interest was coming along. And I was like, I wonder if there's paranormal activity in this building. So, I would ask the people we knew, like, hey, you experience anything here? People would say call lights would go on for no reason.
Yeah.
People said, remember 6th floor? They said they were scared to go up there because it felt kind of heavy up there and it's empty,
I do remember when I worked there, I've never experienced anything, but I do remember call lights going off and stuff. I do remember that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people just dismissed it as the building's old, it's an electrical issue.
Yeah.
Because I remember I would walk in a room to drop off a tray, and an STNA or a nurse or someone would walk in and be like, did you turn your call light on? And I was in there with the person, and I'm like, no, they didn't.
Yeah.
So they weren't even close to the button at all.
Yeah. So, a lot of history there.
Right.
And I would love to get in there. I just have to just keep at it.
Do you think one day they'll finally give, or?
Yeah, I think they might give. I think I might have to just reach out to Randy Osteller and just be firm, like, hey, this building's history. I'm a paranormal investigator, and I want to investigate that building just one night.
Mm-hmm.
Give me one night in there. That's all I'm asking. I'll sign a waiver, and I will make sure everyone on my team wears a mask.
Right.
We're not going to hold you responsible for anything that happens to us. We want just one shot in that place because I used to work there, and everyone told me stories.
Right.
And I just want one shot in there. They tore down the older building where they built the new Heartland.
Yeah.
And I heard stories.
What was that called again?
Crestview?
Crestview.
Yeah, and I heard stories. But they tore it down.
Yeah.
But yeah. I've investigated the state hospital cemetery on more graves across the street.
Really?
Yeah, captured a lot of intelligent responses there. They're still there.
Have you caught anything in any cemeteries, or?
No, I haven't gone to no cemeteries yet.
Yeah. I went to, I know you saw the picture of it on...
Ravine? Yep.
Yeah, I went to Ravine.
There's actually something negative there, I heard.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, I forget I think it's a lady in white, maybe?
Yeah, that's not the negative entity. The lady in white is supposed to be looking for her 3 husbands.
Okay.
But she's supposedly white or blue or green or purple. I don't know. Story keeps changing.
Yeah. To be honest, I was out there from like midnight and I wasn't even looking for anything. We were just, me and my friend thought it was cool to be at the graveyard. It was super foggy out. It's really hard to tell in some of the pictures that it was foggy, but it was. And so we thought like, hey, this is really cool. It's foggy.
Yeah.
It's dark. There's a graveyard. If we were trying to get like the perfect picture in front of the graveyard, and we were out there till probably like 2:00 in the morning, and we had 0 experiences as well.
Really?
Not one thing happened at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I should even say this since we're being recorded, but me and him even walked inside because the gate was wide open. I know there's a part where you drive in, but there's another part where there's like no sidewalk or anything, and the gate was wide open. It wasn't even closed. And we walked in for about like 5 minutes because obviously we didn't want to get hit with like trespassing or anything.
Yeah.
Or for them to like the last thing I needed was for a cop to drive by and think that we were like vandalizing or digging something up.
Yeah.
So we were just in there for a couple seconds just to kind of get a quick look and take a couple pictures of ourselves in there. But we experienced nothing. And before anybody says anything, we made sure we were not walking on anybody's graves or where they were buried. We made sure we were above the headstones. So before people start jumping on me about that, we were respectful, and we did.
Look. I mean, graveyards have paranormal activity Some people go in without permission, but some people get permission.
Right.
It's, again, that's where we come back to the whole hit or miss. When you're paranormal investigating, it's like fishing.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get a couple bites. You're gonna get one damn fish.
Right. Which
is great evidence. And then you may go freaking 2-3 hours with nothing.
Right.
Or you may just go whole freaking night with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, it's a hit or miss situation. Right. It's just like fishing.
Except you don't need a license to be a paranormal investigator.
No.
Isn't that crazy? You need a license to fish, but not to investigate ghosts.
Yeah.
Like out of the two situations, which one's more dangerous? But you need a license for the least dangerous one.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
How many places have you stayed the night at that claim to be haunted or are haunted?
I haven't really stayed well, I'll take that back. OSR is where I stayed almost the whole night till 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the first place ever. Waverly Hills, we stayed from 11 to 6 a.m.
Okay.
But, again, hit or miss. It's just based on a lot of things, based on your energy, based on how the night is, what the weather is, a lot of elements play a key factor in when you're investigating how these spirits react.
Mm-hmm.
It's your attitude, it's your body language, it's a lot of things.
So since we're talking about how there's a lot of different factors in getting experiences, I know a lot of people have theories, or maybe they don't believe in this at all, but do you believe in spirits being more active during the witching hours? Or do you just think it's bullshit?
I really don't think, I don't think it's bullshit, because the witching hour basically is for negative demonic entities. Mm-hmm. That's what that's for.
Okay.
And that's what people who really are in the field who just strictly hunt negative demonic entities.
Okay, so it's not really ghosts.
It's not really regular positive. Yeah, it's more for them negative and demonic. Now, do I believe right at 3 o'clock, it's all gonna freaking go off like a bomb? No.
Right.
The only reason why they call it the witching hour is because the demonic don't know from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. when Jesus Christ was crucified.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they call it the witching hour. It's basically, and the reason why when you get a negative energy or you get scratched 3 or you knock 3, they knock 3.
Mm-hmm.
Anything, they mock in 3.
Yeah.
Because they're mocking the Holy Trinity.
Okay.
That's why. They're mocking Jesus Christ's crucifixion.
Okay.
So, and then they're making fun of when he was crucified. So everything is in 3. But they don't know if it's 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. They just knock. That's just their way of mocking the Holy Trinity of Christ.
Right.
Yeah.
And what exactly, for people who don't know, what are the hours of the witching hours?
3 a.m.
Just 3 a.m.?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 a.m.
It's not
3 a.m. No, 3 a.m. they say is supposed to be the witching hour, which is supposed to be when the demonic become very active.
Okay, so it's 1 hour.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when it's the, negative energy demonic, it's supposed to come really active and it's supposed to, amp up.
Yeah, for some reason, and I don't know why I thought this, but even growing up, I thought it was multiple hours, from 1 to 3 or 3 to...
Yeah.
I didn't know it was just the hour of 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So I've learned something new.
Always.
Yeah. And that's why we do things like this, because I'm not... I don't want people to just listen to the podcast, but I also want to have an actual conversation with somebody who is an expert in something that I'm not. So I can
don't
ask
claim to be an
questions.
expert. No one's an expert in the paranormal field.
All right.
It's just people are more experienced as years go on. You learn more. This field, you never stop learning because things are evolving, equipment's evolving, and then you come to learn that, they can manipulate any kind of electrical device.
Right.
And it's really weird. It's like they've evolved too, and it's crazy. So that's why I said, someone comes out and says, "Oh, I'm an expert." No, I don't believe you're an expert. Nobody's an expert. I believe you have a lot of experience, and I believe that you have a lot to share and tell.
Right.
But nobody's an expert in this field. That's just me. I'm not calling myself an expert.
All right. Well, that's very humble. You don't have very many people who are willing to say, "No, I'm not an expert." Most people would wear that like, "Yeah, I'm an expert. He said I'm an expert."
No,
so,
I don't label myself an expert.
That's awesome.
I'm glad, I've had people contact me and ask me for advice.
Right.
But I give it to them. Mm-hmm. But that's how as far as I go. I always tell them, I'm not an expert in this field. I do what I do, and I learn every day from it as I go along.
What would you say is your biggest piece of advice for people who are listening and thinking about doing paranormal investigating?
If you're going to get in this field, I would say, be prepared. You're going to have people that are going to be jealous. You're going to have people that are going to hate on you by your success, but you can't let them get to you. I did that in the beginning, and I learned and grown from it as I'm going along.
Right.
When you start out in this field and people are attacking you, your first instinct is to attack back.
Right.
My piece of advice is don't attack back. Just keep doing what you do. Focus on your goal. Focus. If you focus, then you're going to get somewhere. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. Right. And people will recognize you as time goes on. People are going to hate on you as time goes on, the more you get recognition.
Yeah, and that goes with not just being a paranormal investigator too. Even when you have like a YouTube channel or you're doing a podcast like I'm doing right now, it takes time. I've heard tons of people who had viral videos and they said they had a YouTube channel for 3 years and then one day one of their videos blew up and then that's what launched them or launched their whole channel. So.
Yeah. Again, I've had networks reach out to me, email me, or Travel Channel, A&E, and I've actually interviewed with a couple of the producers over Skype, but just didn't go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I have a network that reaches out to me, I don't get all huffy puffy about it, because I'm just like, it's either going to go somewhere or it's not.
Right.
I'm going to keep doing what I do.
If you were able to have your own TV show, what channel would you choose?
I would either take Travel Channel or A&E.
A&E?
Yeah.
Travel Channel?
Yeah. Either one. I mean, I'm happy if we get on Amazon Prime, I'll be happy with that. I'm hoping that maybe down the road, it would open more doors.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if it don't go nowhere and we're on Amazon Prime, cool. I'm not going to sweat it.
Yeah.
But we're on a popular app and we're streaming, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We actually will get recognition.
Right. And it's a really weird world we live in now because I feel like more people have Amazon Prime than they do cable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. People will stream cable now.
Yeah. Which, if you would have told me that when I was like in high school, like, oh, people won't have cable, they'll have something called Amazon Prime where they can buy stuff and watch movies and stuff, I would have said you're crazy.
Yeah.
Even like when I was in high school, I don't really think Netflix was really that big of a thing.
No, Netflix wasn't.
Yeah. Like, I think it was just starting to come out when I was getting ready to graduate.
Netflix was like the first streaming.
Yeah.
And then Amazon followed behind.
And we had Hulu.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Hulu followed behind Netflix and then Prime.
Yeah.
And then Amazon, and then all these others followed. Sling was up there. But Sling was actually streaming real cable.
Mm-hmm.
They were the first ones. Then AT&T followed behind them, and then so on. So yeah.
Are you trying to get your show on, say, like, is it possible to get it on Hulu too, or?
It's hard to say.
Right.
I mean, can someone from Hulu like see it on Prime and be like, oh hell yeah, let's contact them and see if we can put it on Hulu? Yeah. I mean, they could do the same thing for Netflix.
Right.
It's just what people don't realize is Amazon Prime goes based off reviews.
Yeah.
You don't get good reviews, you're done.
Yeah.
This is the real deal if we get on Prime. It's not YouTube.
Right.
It's the real deal.
Yeah, because YouTube, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Let's point at me. But
yeah.
So there's no way to like actually go on Hulu and submit a video and see if they'll take it?
No.
Shame on you, Hulu.
Shame on you, Hulu.
I'm just kidding. Next thing you know, people be like, the people who run Hulu work very hard and you're over there saying shame you. Could see it in the comments already.
There you go.
But I think that more streaming services should, open that door.
Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely should, because
there's actually people creating their own apps to stream.
Yeah. And for example, we have so many people posting on YouTube, and YouTube's popular, but I don't think it's as popular as when it first came out.
Yeah.
And so,
but you got to meet certain requirements.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think for example, with Amazon Prime, they review it first. They deem if it's worthy or not, and then based off reviews, you stay or you go.
Exactly.
So I think that, if Hulu or somebody, Netflix, did the same thing, we would find a lot of unseen talent that's out there.
Yeah, and I agree, and I totally agree with that. And will I down the road look into maybe doing a streaming app? Maybe, but that's far down the road.
What would you call it?
Hell if I know.
It's like, go download the Hell if I Know app. And I'll be like, I want the Hell if I Yes. So, I know you got to get going here soon.
Yeah.
What are your guys' goals for Toledo Spirit Hunters?
Well, our goals are basically to continue doing what we're doing. Hopefully, maybe, up the ante on Amazon Prime. Show the people who view our series, that they're going to enjoy it. I have to actually watch some paranormal TV series, or I can't say TV series, some paranormal series on Amazon Prime and see what they're putting out, so that it's different from what we put out, because you have to stand out differently from them. If they're doing the same stuff and it's not getting nowhere, I have to look and see what can I do differently to make us stand out.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that's what always makes a good product, and in this sense, your videos would be the product on Amazon.
Yeah.
Is when it's always one of two things: is if it's cheaper and just as good, or if it's a better quality product.
Yeah.
So standing out, as long as it's a good kind of standing out, is it's a good business method for sure. Where do you see you got like your show in like 10 years?
Where do I see where my series is going? Yeah. Well, it's based on...
Or where would you want it to be in 10 years?
Honestly, if it was on Amazon Prime for 10 years, I wouldn't be mad. Because I know it's on a legitimate streaming service. It's going to go further than it would on YouTube.
Right.
Now, what I'm planning on doing is if Amazon, gives us the okay and they do post it, I'm going to take the other two off, and I'm going to the other two episodes take them off, and I'm going to put them on Prime, and then use YouTube as like the lost footage that didn't make it.
Right. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So that's my plan as of now. But we're going to play it out to see how it goes. We're going to plan it out.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a good method, and I think since you said that you'd be happy with it if it was just on Amazon for 10 years, I think that's good because you're like your bar isn't too high, so and you're happy with where you're getting right now.
And and if we eventually get a haunted museum here in Toledo, like I can do episodes in the haunted museum.
Yeah.
That's why I said I have ideas. It's just baby steps.
Right.
It's not all going to happen overnight. It's going to be over time. It's just not going to happen overnight.
Yep, and that's like everything: YouTube channels, podcasts, ghost hunters, or as my previous guest Aaron, he's working on his business, and I'm pretty sure he even said that he's in the beginning stages. He's doing baby steps right now, and so anybody that's listening, that may be interested in doing a podcast or doing a paranormal investigating, it's always about baby steps. Don't get discouraged, and that's basically what you're saying right now.
Yeah.
And I know that you've been asking me to help you out with some of your paranormal stuff, and I'm always busy, and I feel bad. And so I'm glad that I got you on the show, and maybe here in the future, because I think we had a decent conversation about this topic and paranormal activity. Maybe I would be able to go with you sometime, and see what how my experience would be versus your experience.
Exactly. So, I think that would be great to actually, do an episode on where we talk about that.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
That's another podcast idea.
Yeah, and you can talk about your experiences versus what I experienced.
Yeah.
That would be a great topic to talk about, because you could talk about, this happened, and I'd be like, and it may not even happen to me, and I'd be like, oh damn,
Yeah.
So I think that would be great. We should plan that down the road.
Yeah, that's actually, I'm not gonna lie, that's a really good idea. I'm kind of like jealous I didn't come up with it right now. But this is Dennis Hagen from Toledo Spirit Hunters. Make sure you check out their Facebook page. Is there anything you want to tell them before we go, or?
Nothing really. Just come check us out. I'm always, I have a lot of evidence on my page from when I investigated my haunted artifacts that some evidence would blow your mind. I mean,
like the one, wasn't there one with like a flashlight? I think there's a light bulb or something. I swear I saw one. It was kind of older though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was a flashlight.
It might have been.
Where it would turn on and off.
Yeah. There's one with the wheelchair where I said I would literally shit my pants if I caught a manifestation in the wheelchair. And if you need to go listen to that though, you will laugh here. You would laugh hard too, because I know you too well.
I'll run like a penguin maybe?
No, you would literally laugh at my reaction and everything, because I know you too well. But there was so I'm talking because I'm live. I'm doing this live. And I'm talking to the people live, and I'm like, I'm going to shit my pants if I catch it. I never caught a figure in my wheelchair, never. And next thing you know, you hear a male come over my spirit box, literally, and goes, do it. And then next thing you know, there's a figure sitting in my wheelchair, man. I was like, damn, they called my bluff. I think I sharted a little.
Yeah, I was going to say, I definitely would be running like a penguin.
I definitely sharted.
The oh shit waddle. I'm going to patent that before anybody takes it.
Good idea.
But thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and I can't wait to do this again, and hope you guys listen to the next episode as well.
Yeah, and look us up. If you feel like you're in paranormal activity, reach out to us. We'll help you. All right?
All right. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.